his first appearance, replacing the absent Marcus Costa.
So Rooty Hullet going to the top. If you have just joined us, we didn't appear to have the stream on screen, even though it did look like it from our end, but I couldn't actually find the screen when I was looking through it on YouTube. But hopefully that is up and running now. We had that same issue last week actually in Japan, but you haven't missed anything in all honesty. It's just the first set of runs in this qualifying session for round 7 of the PSGL Championship Season 34 in F3 in the PlayStation ladder. Christian Block, his third fastest in the Red Bull. The drivers to look out for in this session: Top G, who took victory last week for Ferrari, got Daniela in 5th. Rooty Hullet, who won in Austria, he's another one to look out for. And so is Matteo, who's shown some strong pace so far this season.
Tom, I hate to tell you this, but it started a couple of minutes late. Again. I've checked on my end. It starts when we get past the first group of laps. This is, we'll talk internally after this, but this is not looking good. Anyway, I do apologise to our viewers if you have missed the first few minutes. We do not know what the issue is, but we'll try and get it fixed for the next few races, because that should not be happening, in all honesty. But as you can see, we are currently making our way through the session. We are on the second group of laps, and Twist, who finished on the podium for the first time this season, is on a lap. Currently in 10th place. Mohammed has backed out, not happy with his lap. Cherno is on a lap. He's not set a time yet. Tero, who is the only driver that has competed that has not scored any points, still in the championship, is also on a lap, coming out of the final few corners, and I think he already invalidated, actually. But yeah, he already invalidated, sorry. Cherno on a lap right now, the only driver on track who hasn't set a lap yet, coming through the fantastic corner section that is, for goodness sake, Acqua Minerale for the Grissini chicane. I think this was renamed recently after the death of a legendary driver which went by the name of Fausto Grissini, a Imola native who was a MotoGP champion, a 125cc world champion. And here comes Cherno to the line, 11th at the moment. He'll need to, I don't like to be the critic, but he'll have to pile up a lot of time, find some lost time to get up the order further. Speaking of up the order, Top G, I believe, has set the absolute best time in the Sector 1. Going round towards our... Oh, not again! Illegal... Where's the illegal blocking? Please tell me. He is letting a car through. He's letting Top G through. And I'm getting sick of this, Tom. I really am.
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, this has been happening week after week, and that's coming from the games end, really, and this is really poor from what's been produced in comparison to previous game cycles. As Top G is coming round the last corner with just under 9 minutes remaining. I think this lap time should put him to the top. No, it only puts him second. But going back to what you were saying, the illegal blocking thing, I think that's got to be looked into by Codemasters, because that really shouldn't be happening, and the fact that it's been happening week after week after week is not good enough, really.
Funnily enough, there is a patch tomorrow, and I'm just going to check the notes now because it is in the PSGL server. So if you are in the Discord server, you can look at the patch updates as I try to scramble through. This is the problem with Discord. You only click like one channel at a time. It's quite annoying, but everything else about Discord's brilliant. So please get Discord if you can. And of course, I cannot find the patch thingy-majig notes. There's like 200 channels. I still trying to look. Yeah, you continue on and do your thing.
Yeah, so Daniel is just coming through Sector 2 now. Where is he in comparison to last time? It's a 49.0 by this stage of the lap. And he's a 10th up from before. So he's looking good to get in front of Matteo and Christian Block. Should he keep it all together in the last sector of the lap? There's a couple of cars ahead of him that are going through Avatsa. Can he avoid getting held up by the McLaren? He might get a tow, actually, thinking of it, if he's lucky enough. But Daniel is coming over the line now, and he goes up to 3rd position behind Top G. Matteo down to 4th position.
So now the gap still remains at just over a tenth. There's a lot of drivers coming out right now. It's actually a ninth of a second, and Devon gets into the top 3, 1.12 seconds behind Ruti Hewlett. Yeah, I'm just reading the patches right now. I'm trying to find an illegal blocking thing. I hate to say it, I don't see anything about illegal blocking, which is really annoying. You don't like to see that. So, I wish we told them about this sooner. But maybe just turn the thing off for qualifying and then do a separate race thing, maybe. But we're just going to have to stick with what it is, and we will be... Oh, Zorzo goes up in his first appearance in PSGL, gets up to 2nd place. Had a fair share of reserves performing brilliantly. Top G was one of them. Now he's a full-time driver after a couple drivers left. But now Zorzo breaking into the ranks, and only 800ths behind Ricky Hullett.
Stash and Damage are getting times on the board now. Damage going into the top 10 with his latest lap. His teammate Devon up there in 4th place. And we've got a few more drivers coming through over the line in a moment. Teddo's just started a lap. We've got Aston Martin coming through. That'll be Matteo because he's the only Aston Martin in the running tonight. But he's making pits. Who have we got on laps at the moment? Because Edrix is just coming into the pits.
Both Hasses.
Yeah, both Hasses are... Well, Moustache has just done a lap. Twist is just coming through.
Renz.
Yeah, is coming through sector 2. Renz is coming towards the line now. He's yet to... Well, I'd say it's a representative time, but he's actually coming into the pits. He's decided to bail out of that lap and go again next time round. So we go to Twist, who's coming through the last sector now. And he mostly finished on the podium last week in Japan. So build on that here. Can he get into the high 113s? He can. He goes up into 7th position. The lap times clearly are coming down by the second. Cherno is... I think he's on the lap at the moment. Teddo is coming round to complete his first time lap of the session. So where is this going to put him? It'll put him on a 1:14.0 and it's good enough for P11. So Teddo's got time to get round, back to the pits and go for one more run.
Yeah. So we've got about 4 minutes and a half remaining.
Cherno's on the lap at the moment. Yeah, Cherno's on the lap as he's coming through the Variante Alta. Now, the Ravazza section, there's a Red Bull ahead of him, but he should be able to avoid catching up to it. He's about to start a lap now. I think Cherno's backed out of it through Ravazza and he's decided that he needs to come in for another set of tyres. So Cherno with some work to do. And there is Spanias looking to move up the order. How is he getting on through sector 1? He's way down actually, so he may as well just back out of it by this point.
Yeah, so we are going to head into the final round of laps. So get your fasten your seatbelts, I say, because this may be a bumpy ride, and it is one of the bumpier tracks. As Ruti Hewlett and Twist go into the pit in synchronicity. We've got a couple of drivers on the track, and I believe Teddle's one of them, and he needs to come in. Spanish went completely wide. Christian Block is also off. So we've got no laps on at the moment. Mohammed is out on the outlap. Edrex and Renz as well. Renz won the first race this season, but was absent in a few more races. Had a second place taken away from him after penalties. I believe it was for exceeding the white line at the entry. Quite cruel, I know, but that's the rules that are set. Just to mention, the top 8 are within a quarter of a second of the top time. It's quite insane.
It's insane.
Eat that F1. And there's top 10 are in the 113s. And the top 10 is 113.6. So they are all within 3 tenths, which is even crazier. Christian Block is going on a lap.
Yeah, he is, because we've just watched him complete his outlap, but he's going to have a trail of cars coming up as he's going through Tamburello. Now it gets through the Aston Martin, no problem. Next up
He
is
has
the yeah, he has to stay foot to the floor here, just block, because he's committed himself to this. So how's he getting on through the field? And she's getting very aggressive through there. The Ferrari stays out of the way, no problem. He's a 10th up from before, 3 sets to 1.
And he has 0.7 laps of fuel left, so he has to go now, because if he doesn't set a lap here, he won't have another chance to get another lap. So this is do or die for Christian Block, and there's a spinner there. I'm not sure who that is. Yeah, McLaren might be Damage. Yeah, it is Damage who's went off. And Christian Block is much faster. This could be the pole position if he picks it up provisionally. But of course, we've got another group of laps to complete. No traffic at the front. This looks really good, but is he going to have enough stamina to get across the line? He has 0.2. I think he'll make it.
Yep, he should be able to.
Yeah, he will. And it's second. That's a really good time. But remember, you've got a lot of cars coming out. Oh, there's a large traffic jam, and we might get illegal blocking penalties again. Sorry to bring it up.
Oh, yeah, well,
yeah, there we go. Look at that.
Yeah. And Ruti Hullett's been given the same as well. And I think Mohammed got impeded as well by one of the drivers, so he's had to bail out of that lap because he was a 10th up by sector 2. So I think there'll be some words after about that, because some drivers just haven't been able to stay out of the way of those that were on flying laps. Luckily, Christian Block got through the traffic, but there are some drivers who have been held up by those who are just finishing their outlaps to begin their last runs. What a shame.
Whoa. Right, so here we go. Ruti Hullett is just about to begin his final lap. Can he improve on his pole time? 25 seconds to go. Top G gets across the line. Tyne gets across the line. Spanias will get across the line, and Tero will get across the line. This is it. All but Mohammed and Christian Block on their lap. Christian Block being the sport and letting everyone go into the track. Very considerate of him to do that. Oh, Devon has retired from the session. Looks like he is bailed out of his lap and retired in the pits. We have a driver crossing the line. Who is it? It is Moustache, and he has only managed 15th place. That's not what he wanted here. As we have, whoa, what was that? That's Damage. Damage coming across the line. He's bailed out. He will only be best 14th.
Sorso's on a great lap, and he's on to the top as Sorso. Brilliant lap time there from the Ferrari pilot. He's going to provisional pole, but Daniel has taken that away from him. So the lap times are coming down. Ruti Hullett has fallen back in sector 2 there. I don't think he's going to be able to improve unless he finds a gaggle of time in the remainder of the lap.
Twist goes 5th. Christian Block comes into the pits, of course. He's already done his lap. Renz hasn't shown any representative times at all. And he gets into the top 10, sneaks into the top 10. But Ruti Hullett improves and takes pole position for himself. Top G gets to the 4th. And I think that is it. Yeah, that is it. Tero is not going to get a good enough time. Tyne only manages 8th. This is brilliant for Daniela.
Absolutely brilliant. Ruti Hullett, I don't know where he found that time in the last sector, because it didn't look like he was going to find enough. But he snatched it right at the death. He takes pole position for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix at Imola. Daniel alongside with Sorso 3rd. Then it's Top G, Christian Block, Twist, Devon, Tyne, Renz and Matteo running out the top 10. Spanias in 11th, followed by Edrix. Then we've got Mohammed and Tedo. Damage, Moustache and Chono make up the 17-car grid. I think with the penalties, I think they are going to be rescinded. So there will be a lobby restart, which will give us time to reflect on that session, because that flew by, Logan.
It flew by! It flew by for the viewers more, because they only saw like 5 minutes of it. Well, the last 10 minutes of it. But what a session that was. It is Ruti Hullett on pole ahead of Danielle and Zorzo in the reserve spot. This might be a spicy start.
Just waiting on confirmation. It is going to be a lobby restart once everyone's
yes,
understood the situation.
And it's good because there was dark clouds in the original setting.
drivers are leaving the session now, so we should be receiving invites to the new lobby.
Let's give us a chance to promote the people who sponsor us very nicely and graciously. It is a certain GTO Mega Tom.
Yes. So you can get 5% off on any GTO Mega products if you use PSGL at the checkout. So if there's like a gaming chair you fancy, or gaming gloves, or a rig, or whatever basically that GTO Mega produces, then do make sure you use the PSGL at the checkout for 5% off. We'll come away from this because people have walked away from the lobby. That's not going to be the race start. So we're just waiting on a new lobby to be produced. I think in terms of the championship, Logan, did you calculate the championship point standings by any chance?
Yes, I did. I explained it earlier. I don't think they got it. So currently, we've got Tyne BB8 on 57, Danielle on 42, Armateo on 34, Top G 32, Ruti Hull at 30, Mario's 28, Ren's 20 with a higher points finish, Mohammed 20, Riley Kai 18 with the higher points finish, Twist also on 18, Edric 17, LRB 15, Christian Block 10, Pedro Vasquez 10, Lickoblox, who's now left the league, 9, Tom 8, Toxic Tomato, I think Tom left the league as well actually, Toxic Tomato 7, Devon 5, Daddlepad 5, Moustache 5, Spanias 4, Costa 4, Cherno 4, Sapala 3, Tedo, Zorzo, and Tedo 0 and Zorzo Damage not classified as they haven't raced yet. Oh, and Sasha as well. I think there's another few reserved. Yeah, that's it. Sasha's the only driver who has not appeared this season. There we have Damage and Zorzo. Alright, we're in the lobby. We're in the lobby. We're in the lobby.
Yep.
Gosh, I'm trying to get over that chaotic race yesterday. And it probably was the most chaotic race of the season. Forget Australia. Like, who thinks it was going to rain that hard in the Netherlands?
Sure, it does rain fairly, often enough in the Netherlands. I mean, we are in Central Europe after all, so it's not like
Malaysia weather. That's Malaysia. Malaysia's not here. I wish they brought that track back, especially if it's not returning to the calendar. You should at least you surely get rights, get good money and free advertising for this Sepang track. It was a great track too. It was okay, very wide, but also very cool. Probably Herman Tilke's best design.
perhaps some corporate sponsorship would be the way to go about for Sepang, because it's just too expensive at the moment, and I think they're waiting for the economy within the country to stabilise more, given the pandemic that we've had not too long ago.
Yeah, darn COVID. It's the only time we'll mention this because we don't want to get demonetized. I think we were actually, which is quite unfortunate. Yeah, there we go. Just getting the grid set up, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you here, welcome along. This is PSGL F3 on PlayStation 5 or 4, doesn't really matter. We have 17 drivers tonight. Ruti Hullet has taken pole ahead of Daniela and reserve Zorzo. Top G and Christian Block also completing the top 5. Championship leader Tyne, who's still winless, is in 8th. So if he finishes outside the points and Daniela wins, Daniela takes the lead of the championship by 1 point. Maybe 2 if he gets the fastest lap. Or if Daniela wins the race and Tyne finishes on... Daniela finishes in 10th, Tyne finishes in 10th, sorry. You'll also lead the championship on countback, as Daniela will have won 2 races and Tyne 0. Tyne actually, I think, has been in the winning position twice, but of course had that removed after Daniela... No, sorry, once, because Daniela did cross the line first and had his penalty removed. Tyne got, I think it was a penalty... Or no, I think, yeah, it was a penalty. Let me see, actually. Actually, no, I think he lost that to Armateo as well. I'm not too sure. But I will check for you guys. So, now we wait. Everyone's in the lobby, thankfully.
Just waiting on the grid positions to come through now. So, we should be going within the next few moments. So we do apologise for the delay to the start of this Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. It will go by very quickly in all honesty, because it is one of the faster circuits in comparison to a lot of the others. But having said that, part of that is down to the insane mechanical grip that these Formula 1 cars have nowadays. Compared
32 or 33 laps, I think it's 32.
32.
And of course, we're trying to replicate the insane action that was F1 on Wednesday when Lucas Blakely did a double overtake on one lap to win the race under Ulas Ozildrim and Nicholas Longay's noses. I think it was Longay. Or was it? No, it was Longay. I'm thinking of WR where Otmir went right up the field thanks to his right-hand man, Jake Benham. Championship PTO. Oh, sorry. I'm ignorant, I know.
The reason why we're having this lobby restart is because a few drivers have been given grid penalties for the race via the game itself when they shouldn't really be doing so. So that's why they are being, well, got rid of, if that makes sense, so that the lobby can be done manually, so that everyone is starting in the right positions. So going into the race, Tyne has a 15-point lead over Daniela, with Matteo third, Top G in 4th position, and Rita Hillett in 5th. So it's all to play for, really. You have to say Tyne is the favourite to take the championship, but there's still 6 races to go, including this one. The next few rounds have been confirmed where they'll be racing at, and that's at Spa, Jeddah, and Mexico City.
Yeah, and then 2 unannounced rounds. I'm going to make a shot and say it's Las Vegas and Singapore. Or the other way around, sorry. Because Singapore is going to receive an update tomorrow. It has just been confirmed by Codemasters. Hopefully the various other fixes include that illegal blocking thing, but it hasn't been confirmed. Oh, we're getting underway.
Yeah, so we are waiting for the drivers to complete their setups. Hopefully they won't ready up too quickly, so it just gives the drivers enough time to get their setups done. I think if they've got their setups already saved, then it shouldn't take them that long.
I put remember SETUP in the general chat, so that they know.
Going into cheerleader mode, are you, Logan?
Well, yeah. I'm a cheerleader for the Ferrari team, and we know how that ends up. Me in a cold shower. Definitely yesterday. Darn pit stops! Well, to be fair, Leclerc should have called them earlier, but still. They should be ready. Look at the rain. It's insane. Right. How's the weather? Hey, nice and sunny. What it should have been a couple months ago, but unfortunately, Mother Nature said, no, we're not having this race. So we had to go straight to Monaco instead. Which was a shame, considering it was sort of next to Monaco. That's more Paul Ricard, which I do not believe is on the calendar yet. Probably will be next season. I mean, we should try and fit all 26... 20... How many tracks are in this game? Is it 26?
It's 26,
27?
Yeah. 6.
Yeah, France and Portimao, and I'm not counting China included because China was supposed to be in the calendar. So yeah, 26. And I wish there were more. Like, come on, guys, let's get
Sepang in there.
Sepang, Hockenheim, Nürburgring. Hey, even throw Indianapolis if you want. Adelaide, Fuji. I mean, Adelaide would probably be quite tough because it's very much changed now.
Yeah, well, you could always add Hanoi in there because that wasn't too long ago since that was in the game.
No, and then not like Hanoi. Hanoi never happened. It probably never will now, considering the situation that occurred. Not COVID, something else. TLDR corruption. Well, the Buddha circuit was pretty cool, actually.
Isn't bad,
Kind of
actually.
like Kyalami, though. Kyalami, I say no to because I don't think it's going to happen now. I don't think they have the facilities ready. The track's ready, but the facilities not. What about the test track Jerez?
It's too narrow. I would say it's too narrow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, don't really need Estoril, to be fair.
Always use the Ricardo Tormo
Mugello, that's the one. They need to put Mugello in the game. Yeah, it was narrow, but it was very fun to watch. They won't have it because they've got 2 other Italian tracks. It was used in an emergency.
Another race
and they used it for summer testing as well, I think.
Another race circuit that was built this year is at Balaton Park, which is in Hungary. And I'm not saying it's going to be the new host of the Hungarian Grand Prix because that's not going to be the case.
No.
But maybe as a European Grand Prix, if that ever happens, then we may see
Here
some races in Hungary. The 5 red lights are coming on now, and we are ready for the start of the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. It's lights out, and away we go. And Rudy Holly gets off the line well, as does Daniela. They're about to go side by side as they come underneath the bridge and towards the first braking zone at Tamburello. There's Daniela on the outside of the Williams as they come into the first corner, and Rudy Holly stays in front. Daniela behind with the 2 Ferraris of Tocci and Sorso. We've got Christian Block ahead of Devin, but it's Twist, Time, Matteo, and Renz in the top 10 so far.
Yes, Rudy Hullett and Danielle were banging wheels at the start, but Rudy Hullett holds on to his lead as Top G goes for the move into the Tosa. Into second place, could this be? There's an incident back there, I don't know what has happened, but it's a massive collision, and it sends Edrix and Damage and Mohammed and Mustache at the back of the field. Top G is now into second place. 4 tenths is the gap for Rudy Hullett. The breathing space is widening up as Tyne has lost the position, I think. He was P8, now he's P9. Not a good start from him if he wants to conserve his championship lead. But in the other hand, Daniela has also failed to gain any positions. In fact, he's lost the position, as you have seen. Devon trying to make his way through Christian Block into 5th place, but no, not yet. But 1 lap completed, and Rookie Hullett holds on to the lead. But Christian Block is challenging the rookie.
Yes, and Block is through, so Christian through up into 4th place, but we're seeing a battle for the lead because Top G is going to go to the inside of the Williams of Rudy Holly, and this is going to be a change for the race leaders, but Rudy Holly resists.
Oh. Yes, the 2 recent winners of this championship battling for the lead, and then Daniela wants a piece of the action back. Christian Block is getting involved as well. He goes out of line at the Villeneuve chicane, and now he's gone on the outside of Daniela. Where's this pace come from? Is Daniela struggling? Did he have his setup on? Some drivers going nose-arc into Tulsa, including Armateo and Tyne, who are battling for 8th place, and Twist and Devon as well. Seems like a lot of action to be had at Tulsa. No one going out of line the Aquamilinari, which is quite a tricky corner, especially going the runoff area. You'll get a massive warning for sure. But Daniela trying to get back that 2nd place from Top G, who nearly took the lead from Rudy Hullett.
So running down on the race order, well, just before I do, we're looking at the tyre compounds that the drivers are on. Top G and Christian Block are on mediums, Tyne and Renz and Tedo start on the mediums. Mohammed, Moustache and Edrix are on mediums, but they came in at the end of the first lap for a pit stop with Damage.
And they're 34 seconds behind because there's a massive pit lane. Top G looks like he's playing it conservatively, or is he? Yep, he's playing it conservatively, but DRS enabled. And Daniela was looking at Top G there, but nothing can do into the corner. We've got not many moves of note, not many magical moments, as Mohammed starts the recovery drive with Mustache and Edrex in tow. And to Tulsa now, and we don't see any moves. It looks like it has calmed down, and it looks like it's going to be focused on the DRS zone, the only DRS zone, and that is down that long stretch to the Tamburello, which has been modified in recent years to accommodate for safety. And for the unfortunate, of course, is this track has a dark past, as you could say, in brief terms, trying to keep it palatable. But it is Top G who is on the medium tyres and probably has the advantage. That's why Danielle is probably going so slow. But there is, of course, the advantage in that he gets to stay out longer. But it will be Top G and Christian Block of those in the top 8 that have the first dibs at pits.
So coming onto the pit straight, DRS open, and Top G's going to take the lead here from Hullet. Well, that was very much slam dunk as you like, and Denner looking to take advantage, but he isn't close enough to have a go, so he'll have to sit back probably for another lap and get the DRS next time around.
So the lead changes, but he's got a pit earlier, and with the longest pit lane in the entire series, it's going to be quite the job to hold that undercut. I've just noticed something. I don't think the Ferrari numbers are showing up on the nose. I do not see the noses on the Ferrari. That is quite weird. I've seen them on the Williams, definitely. I saw the 69.
One of them has. One of the Ferraris has, the other one hasn't.
That's strange. Maybe they couldn't have the 16 or the 55 anymore, as you normally can't have it. Well, I can see Top G's numbers also 69. What is it with 69? I know it can be read upside down and the other thing, but come on, be original. I mean, Jarno Opmeer uses it. Danielle uses the 7, which is a reference to Kimi Räikkönen. What? Kimi Räikkönen? Really? Okay. Anyway, Top G coming around now has an 8 tenths lead. The advantages that the medium tyre has really showing, and Ruti Hullet's trying to break away from Danielle as well. They're both on hard tyres, and Top G blazes the fastest time out of the water, which is quite funny because blazing something out of the water is quite the irony, considering blazing something to do with fire. So, no moves to make note of, Tom. It seems all calm at the front.
And I think one thing to think about is whether those on the mediums are going to stay on the mediums and go onto the soft compound later on. And those on hards, well, they're going to probably be on the mediums later on. So there may be a few differences in strategies to try and complete an undercut on those ahead, or an overcut, whichever. But there's not really too many options that the drivers tend to use or tend to choose from, given how competitive this grid really, really is.
It is quite the competitive grid. I say a lot of these drivers have bright futures ahead of them. I can tell you that for sure. As I was going to mention, everyone within 1 second is except the bottom 3, which is quite interesting and quite intriguing as well. So I don't think Ruti Hullet is going to catch up, knowing he's on the hard tyres. Tyne, this is quite the harrowing track for him. He, I believe, had a massive crash, which probably cost him the F7 championship a couple seasons ago, I think. Maybe last... No, I think it was either last season or the season before. He had a crash, and it cost him... It went on to cost him the championship, and that is Renz going off the track. He's had an incident there, as Danielle is right next to Ruti Hullet as speak, but Renz tried to get involved with... Was that Spanias or something? But, or it might have been, no, it might have been Matteo. No, it has to be Renz or Tyne. He was down below Tyne, and he went off the track and lost a spot to Spanias, who's now in the points.
Holding on there, Daniela not close enough to have a go. Christian Block up there in 4th position on the medium compound. So he'll have a choice to make as to whether he's going on the hards or the softs later on. So they go through the Variante Alta. And it looks like Top G is doing all he needs to do, but his mediums will start to fall away in the near future.
So they come around for... by the way, I should mention, Ruti Hullet has 2 warnings. The next one he gets will be a penalty.
So it needs to be on his toes between now and the end of the race if he is to avoid a time penalty, which could prove to be costly later on. But we've just seen Daniela going to the grass there and on the curb. Can he make it 2 in 1 go? Oh, you bet you can! He's taken the lead from Hullet and from Top G. That was splendid stuff.
I have a problem. I can't get out of race director.
Okay,
I
well,
honestly can't get out of race director. I'm going to have to restart. I'm sorry.
that's okay. We'll leave you to do that as we continue to watch the action. Daniela takes the lead from Top G with Hullet in third place. Then it's Christian Block fourth, Sorso in fifth, with Twist, Devon, Matteo, Tyne and Spanius in the top 10 so far. Then we've got the two Mercedes of Renz and Cherno in 11th and 12th. Damage is 13th. Tedo is at the back of the queue in 14th position, and then a long way back on Moustache, Mohammed and Edrix, who came in for repairs at the end of lap 1. Daniela's gap is half a second over Top G. Has he taken too much energy by getting past? Well, he's down to 24%. Top G has less. Hullet has a similar amount, but Christian Block has just over 80% of ERS in store.
Yeah, I'm terribly sorry about this, guys. Why this game doesn't like me, I do not know. The fact that I can't get out of the bloomin' race director. I'm sorry if I'm raging, folks, but I'm actually honestly sick of this.
Yeah, well, whilst you just deal with that, Logan, Renz is coming into the pits for a change of tyres in an attempt to complete an undercut on those ahead. Now, those at the head of the field will have the decision to make as to when to pit, because I can imagine that Renz will be on the pace, but he'll need to get out in front of Moustache here if he is to keep hold of track position, and I think he's going to do that.
Right, we're going to try this again. I'm just trying to get the invite.
Well, we'll go back to the battle for the lead. Daniela is still in front with Top G in second place with Hullet third. And Block not close enough to get through yet. He's probably waiting for the next time the DRS is active. As they come through, it was a nice helicopter shot there of the cars going through the very anti-Alta chicane. Down the hill towards Ravazza they come. And it looks like Top G, is he thinking about a move at this point? Or is he just going to sit back and wait for the pit stops to arrive as they do? They're coming towards the end of lap 8, so we are a quarter of the way through this Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix at Imola. And we are seeing some overtaking happening as Devon is under threat from Twist as they go through the kink before Tamburello. And it looks like Matteo's getting on the outs, as is Spanius. And Spanius has got through on Matteo and is up into 8th position. Renz has got a time penalty, and that'll be for track limits.
Right, I'm back. I'm not going to open Race Director because it's probably cursed. And this game needs to be sorted out. Top G just hounding Danielle, who I missed his move, by the way. I missed his double overtake, and he needs that because as it stands, he leads the championship. He is... Okay, they still got a pit, yeah, but Daniela, as it stands, will lead the championship on countback. 2 wins to Tyne's 0, and he has equal points. They would be both on 58 points, as Tyne has only got 1 as it stands. Remember, it's 16 for a win, 12 for second, 10, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the sliding scale. But Top G needs to find some inches of speed if he wants to get back that lead, as Daniela goes to the left to try and fend off any challenge he has, as Ritty Hullet trying to get involved as well, but so is Christian Block battling for third place. Here he goes, Top G, as Daniela shuts the door and holds on to his lead for the meantime and gets nice through the curves very clean. Spanias and Twist! Oh, that's a massive collision coming into Tamburello, and Spanias, unfortunately, the victim in that, as Twist goes through. But have they got damage? He goes wide. I think he's got damage. He's struggling. Speaking of damage, damage is in that trail of Tyne and damage, and this has actually helped Tyne. He's now in the lead of the championship by 1 point as it stands. I know it's quite early to, considering it's just the halfway point of the season, but there we go. So bad news for Twist, and also bad for Spanias as well, as Moustache has overtaken for 15th place, but he's going to come back as Mohammed, but he won't be getting that anytime soon.
Shame there for Spanius, because he was running well up there in the top 10, but now he's fallen down to 13th place as Tyne looks to get through on Twist the next time they go onto the pit straight. DRS will open on the Red Bull as they come round, and the good news for Tyne is that Twist isn't going to have the DRS, so this should be a slam dunk overtake here for the Dutchman as he comes through round the outside. And yeah, it's as neat as you want it to be. He gets through. Now is Damage going to take advantage? He does. It was nearly a slide there from Twist as he got through. And Devon gets ahead of the Haas and puts him as McLaren up into 9th position.
How they didn't make contact, I don't know. We've lost Teddo. Teddo has brought out the safety car. Teddo has had a crash out of the Tamburello corner. I don't know if you can see it, but he comes right in front of the safety car, does Renz, as I'm trying to get a view of what happened. Oh, he's gone. But he must have slid out of the end of Tamburello, and that is the end of the only driver who is yet to score this season that has competed, excluding Zorzo and Damage, who are making their first appearances. And he will remain on a duck for the meantime, for another week at least, if he gets another chance, hopefully. But Daniela, this is quite an interesting one for him. He could pit now, but he has to do other than hards because he has to use 2 different compounds. So this actually favours Top G and Christian Block, although they will lose their place in the running, especially with this very long pit straight. And they're all coming in. They're all going to, I'm thinking this is going to be mediums for Daniela, hards for Top G, Ricky Hillett, they're all pitting. Oh, and what's that?
There's a problem.
That's
Logan.
a double stack.
It's also had to double step behind his teammate and nearly blocked Christian Block from exiting his pit box in the Red Bull garage, because he got in front of the Red Bull as they were going into the pit lane. Surely that's not allowed because they're under safety car conditions. Extraordinary.
Yeah, you're right. That's... Sorry for my waffling there. I was not understanding what the hell was going on. I thought it was someone doing a Sebastian Vettel there, but no, it's actually a horrible moment for Christian Block, but it's actually kept him in the same position. But now Zorzo with the double stack is down to 7th, so he had to sacrifice a couple of positions, but he's on the medium tyre now, and Top G on the hard though, and so is Christian Block, because of course they were on the opposite strategy. So everyone except Mohammed, no, Mohammed's pit, sorry. Everyone is on a new batch of tyres. So we will be getting underway, I'd say, the lap after this one, because of course everyone has been pitting. Moustache and Edrex pitted the lap before, because that's when the safety car came out. I don't know why they're fighting each other, it's not allowed. Daniela still leading, ahead of Top G and Ruti Hullet. Daniela is now 1 point behind Tyne as it stands. They were 14 points ahead was Tyne, and now he is, as it stands in this race, now cut down to 1. So this is quite the crucial moment. And he also has the advantage when it comes to count back if it were to be tied. Daniel was 1 win, Tyne has 0, but Daniel needs to win if he wants to take the lead of the championship. So it would be 2-0 if he wins tonight, and Tyne doesn't get higher than 10th place.
There's a long way to go yet still in this one, although the drivers have done their mandatory stops now. So Daniela...
No, we're not getting underway. We're not getting underway.
No. We've only done 1 lap under the safety car, Logan, so they have to do a minimum of 2 unless we're in the final laps of the race. So it may give those at the back an opportunity, actually, to decide maybe to go on to mediums for the last bit of the race, perhaps?
Perhaps, yeah. Careful, Top G. You don't want to be doing that. You nearly got past Daniela illegally. You can't be aside the car next to you. Thanks, Max Verstappen. For doing that. So they had to change the rules on that, of course, to accommodate that, to prevent any possible illegal overtakes, etc. So we have 16 cars remaining. Tito is out, and this is good for the back 3, who were like 30 seconds behind. This has helped them, and they'll be back in the leading pack. Well, there is only 1 pack. The top few drivers were, of course, close to each other anyway, so no harm done to Daniel's race, except that they have to pit a little earlier. Probably more favourable to Top G, as he was on the softer compound, and he got to pretty much get a free pit stop, as everyone else was pitting. So, besides Zorzo double stacking, the order has pretty much remained the same.
So where do you see the field going into the restart then, Logan? Who would you be most likely want to be in the car of what?
I probably want to see how Top G does on these hards compared to Daniela's mediums, who are probably going to have to pit again if they can't survive the 20. Can you do 19 laps on this as the safety car is coming in, by the way?
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be able to do 19 laps on the mediums. It just depends on how he manages them. So Daniela is raring to go for the restart here. He's in a great position to win this race and to take the lead of the championship with tying down the order in 9th place. A lot can change between now and the checker flag. Approaching the end of lap 13, we've got 19 laps to go. And Daniel will decide to go as of when he feels is best. But is he backing the field up a little bit too much there?
Too much.
Yeah, well, he's gone now.
Too much.
It's gone now, and he can't back off before the line because he's committed to the restart now. So Daniela is underway for the restart as Top G looks to give chase.
And here we go, 3 temps separating the two top drivers. And speaking of Top G just challenging and piling on the pressure, not getting past them, but he does get closer. And Spanias is side by side with Renz, but Cherno, and Cherno holds off the position. As Ruti Hurlett starts to get close, he's actually side by side with Top G for a moment, but he doesn't get past and will have to hold off for third for now. And he has Christian Block in his mirrors, but he has Devon in his mirrors, and he's being challenged out of Tosa. But it looks like he'll be keeping this for the meantime. Edrex gets past Moustache off camera as the gap now becomes 3 temps for Daniela. Top G right behind him. Ruti Hullet as well. Devon closing the gap too. Zorzo needs to make up positions quickly, and this could be lost in the chicane, of course, as Moustache has been given a penalty as well. He was back down the field anyways. So, looks like Daniela will have to do all the defending work he can on these medium tyres, with Top G, even though he's in the harder compound, just hounding him for the next 18 laps perhaps. Looks like we're going to have a move attempt here from Christian Block, but no, he backs out. But we're going to get one from Twist! Oh, Twist nearly got him, but he can't get past Zorzo, the reserve. But who can Time make a position? He needs to make this position. No, he cannot. He remains in 9th place, Tom.
He is, but he's behind Twist, who's carrying a penalty, so Time would move up a position as it stands, but he needs to get the most out of this race to stop Daniela from taking the lead of the championship.
Yeah, it would harm his championship lead. He has currently got, as it stands, 1 point lead. Daniela is in 2nd place in the championship, is in the lead of the race. That is the crucial thing for him as the pack start to pile through the chicane once again. Lots of warnings can occur here, so you've got to keep your toes clean. Coming through, Renz and Edrex have not done that. They've got themselves another penalty. Christian Block closing the gap again. He's on the harder compound. He seems to be much more stable than the mediums, as he's got a run on Ruti Hullet, hopefully. But DRS will now be enabled, but not this lap, of course, because it starts the next lap. How are they doing? It looks like Top G has used up half his battery. Daniela doesn't need to use the battery. Christian Block also on half the battery. Ruti Hullet on 2/3 of the battery. Devon has used more than half of his. And, oh my goodness, Twist has been doing a lot of defending. He's used a lot of his energy up. So that might come back to bite him if he's not careful.
Up the hill they come once again on lap 16. Daniela trying to break that 1 second margin over the others so that he's out of DRS territory, but Top G is refusing to leave him alone. Remember, Daniela is on the mediums, Top G is on the hards. Daniela may have the advantage to begin with, but towards the end of the race, his mediums will start to fall away.
And Top G knows that very well, so he's just keeping it nice and snug through the corners. He's just keeping it inbounds, doesn't want to trigger any warnings because he knows he'll get a penalty for that. And soon when the playing field levels for the tyres, Top G will have his golden opportunity. Ruti Hurlett, though, is getting involved, though. as the gap now 7 tenths. Medium tyres showing its potential, but Top G needs to close up because Ruti Hullet is coming behind. And there's a couple moves happening. Is there? I don't see many moves happening. Top G has got within, he's gained half a second from that run down the straight. No moves as it looks from the straight in that lap though.
Daniela keeping hold of the race lead still, Top G behind. I think Top G is maybe going to wait until the last moment to decide to go for it. Let's have a look on the telemetry to see where they are at, because Daniela's got loads left there, and Top G's gone around about half of what Daniela's got, and Rita Hullet behind is, well, he's preserving his ERS for the time being, but he won't want to sit back too much.
They file through Aquamillari for the 17th time in this race, and 6 tenths remains the lead for Daniela. And about a second behind him though is Christian Block, who's closing up ever so closer to Ruti Hullet in the Williams. Through to the corners of Rennes, now gets a penalty again, I think. This has just not been Rennes' day. The first winner of the season has not been able to capitalise on his victory. Not capitalise, to add to his victory. And it's just getting worse and worse for him, but here we go once again down the long straight. Ruti Hullet having a look at the Top G on the outside, but he's not going to get it. Top G is not going to get close. Oh, we've lost Rennes. He's retiring the pit lane. Rennes has had enough, and out of the race goes Rennes, the first winner of the season, and his season just goes downhill even further.
About Christian Block, because he's thinking about a move on Ruti Hullet into Sosa hairpin. Takes a wider line through there to gain as much momentum as possible to put Ruti Hullet under pressure here. Now, is it worth going for a move into a corner that's not on the pit straight where the DRS is, or is it best just to sit back and wait until you get the DRS and make a move?
It'd be very bold if he did. So through we go into the corner once again, and what's happened to Rennes, by the way? Is he not even moving from the pits? I don't know what. Well, he's gone now. I think he just retires him in the pits for once. Oh, Damage has got a penalty. That's not good for him. He might not be getting any points as it stands, but it's only just halfway through the race. So the gap now only half a second for Daniela. It was like 7 tenths, but it's increased to 8 tenths now. Coming out of the final corner, and Ruti Hullet is going to challenge for that second place. He's right on his tail, but so is Top G, and Top G's actually closer to Danielle. Will he get there in time? No, he will not. And neither will Ruti Hullet, but Armateo gets past Devon for 5th place. Devon finally relegated to 6th place after a long battle with Christian Block. Instead, he goes backwards instead of forwards. He's going 1 step forward, 2 steps back, as Devon tries to get that position back at Tulsa, but no can do. And now Zorzo, who had lost the positions from double stacking, is going to try and get those positions back. Ruti Hullet hanging on to Top G's gearbox, literally, as they come through Aquamillari once again. Nice and clean through there. Top G a little wide on the corner, cut the curbs a bit, but still nice and clean through the chicane. And it looks like that is a good gain from Tom G. He's gained a few tenths from that chicane, and Ruti Hullet now in the clutches of Christian Block. Out of the corner we come once again. Daniela has a massive advantage out of this final corner. You can tell the gap go up from half a second to 7 tenths. But will Top G find a way past? I can't see it happening, Tom.
No, I can't either. It's too far back, and the field looks pretty static at the moment, although Tyne, I think, is coming through further back. Is he getting past the Haas ahead of him? He almost did, and he almost dropped it, and the McLaren of Damage got out in front. So Tyne's lost out there, and Damage has got through.
And without the penalties applied, Tyne is now no longer in the lead of the championship on countback. And if Spanias comes through, this will be even worse. Oh, and what happened there? A twist. He's right to the left after Tulsa off the racing line. I don't know what's going on between these three, but it doesn't look good for Ty. He needs to get these positions, otherwise it's going to end in tears and his lead will be completely slashed.
Daniela continuing on, Top G almost a full second behind. He needs to stay within the second so he gets the DRS behind Daniela. And he won't want to become a sitting duck behind to hull it, block and co.
He needs to get ahead, and he's got through the detection zone. He's going to get DRS, but how much is going to help him? Let's find out. He's built a gap to Rooty Hillett. That's one thing I can give him credit for. How close is he? Is he using energy? No, he's not. He's staying behind. I get what he's trying to do, but at the same time, he has no grip in the corners compared to Daniela. He needs to find the extra grip. Actually, he's closed down to 4/10, but knowing his grip, it may extend even further than what it was. With Hewlett and Christian Block back in the group now. Armateo joining the fray. Devon, Zorzo as well.
So further down the order, Cherno's outside the points. Edrix, Mohammed and Moustache are the remaining ones, along with Tyne actually, who's in P11 on track. And Top G not close enough there, although he is closer than he was last time. So it just depends on whether he decides to go for the move now and try and pull away. But he hasn't got a lot of ERS left in store in comparison to Daniela, who's got more than what he has.
Now the gap's back to 7/10. This is not looking good for Top G. And Rooty Hullett's on his tail, and so is Christian Block. He's got to get a good run. 8/10. This is not looking good. Now Rooty Hullett with the tyre advantage and the gap. Can he find a move? I don't think he's going to be going for a move. Top G will probably be staying behind Daniela again. He's not going to get even close as Zorzo finally gets past Devon and into 6th place, finally making positions from the position lost in the double stack with Top G. Top G now needs to really put the foot to the floor if he wants to get anywhere past Daniela. It's getting worse and worse. Rooty Hullett just been lingering in 3rd place for quite a while. All these drivers been lingering in the position for quite a while. There's not been many moves laid. Maybe it's the difference between these tyres that's helping, but remember, Danielle, he's probably going to run out of steam at the end of this if he's not careful. PBA's got a penalty! This is not good at all! Now he might not win this. Might not be coming out of this the championship lead after all.
Still time yet for any other penalties to go in the way of other drivers, but this is not looking good for Tyne's hopes of keeping hold of the championship lead. Twist ran wide on the exit of the very anti-Alta chicane, and Top G, he's even further behind Daniela than he was last time. He's really under threat.
He is really under threat, and Rooty Hullett licking his lips as it seems. Top G is getting nowhere near. He's not even using his energy. I'd probably be using it right now. But I think he's waiting for Edrix, has thrown in the towel in the pits. Christian Block right on the back of Rooty Hullett. Stays behind. I think they're going to keep this until later in the race, where it will all be kicking off. But the more they wait, the more the drivers behind come closer and closer. Christian Block being one of them. In the hards, waiting for the playing field of tyres to level. And Cherno getting another penalty. 5 drivers got penalties, by the way. And Moustache and Twist all have 2. And the others mentioned have 1. So 5 drivers of the 14 penalised. The top 7 don't have any penalties. Keeping it very clean. We like to see this from the drivers. Consistency and cleanliness, I should say. Coming through down then, we have a half a second, 6/10 gap for Daniela this time. How will they do out of the corner? Is Daniela going to show his superior grip? Yes, he is. 8/10. Twist gets another penalty. Now he's on 9 seconds of penalties. It just gets worse. But now Rooty Hullett is closing up to Top G. Is he going to go for the move here? Probably not. Top G closing up to Daniela once again, but it will still be Daniela that comes out in the lead.
Twist is battling it out with Spanias at the moment. Are they going to get through cleanly this time? Twist has gone off the track at Sombrello, and that's going to allow the Red Bull of Tyne through.
And Twist and Spanias, that's the second time they've collided tonight, and this time it's Twist that suffers, so maybe it's probably karma for Spanias' side, and Tyne benefits, but it is no help because he is got a penalty, and okay, he won't lose it to Mohammed, but it will not help if he gets past Spanias. Even if he gets past Spanias, he'll still have a penalty to serve, and at this rate will still lose the championship lead to Daniela after no points. Whoa! Rooty Hullet nearly running the back of Top G there. Is that damage? Is that damage I see? I think something has come off. That's Zorzo? Is that Zorzo that's lost a bit of his front wing? Yes, it is. I see nothing on that
left-hand side,
left end plate. Yeah, and Twist has got another penalty, by the way. It's crazy. The gap now is 9 seconds. Twist has got another... And, oh, Devon's coming to pits. I think there may have been collision there. This only helps Tyne. Tyne is now, as I see, still in the championship. Maybe not. No, he's still got the penalties. I forgot. No, he's still not in the championship lead. And Zorzo, yeah, he's got a problem. Zorzo, what an unfortunate way to... he's being pushed by Tyne. This is not good for Tyne. Zorzo needs to let him through. Zorzo has a problem, and he's only just holding up the drivers behind him. Zorzo, who's had a fantastic debut, unfortunate in the double stack, unfortunate in the lap 24 at the chicane, and now he's going down the order, and Tyne is just licking his lips, wanting to itch past him, but he's really struggling out of that Aquaman alley, and there's a battle behind him for Tyne and Twist into the chicane, and they come out in one piece, but here comes Cherno trying to get in the points, but he's got a penalty as well. Quite the battle happening here, while up front it looks like Daniela is being unchallenged.
Yeah, and Tyne will not be very happy because he knows that Sorso is carrying front wing damage, and Sorso has decided to head for the pits now, so that's his race more or less ruined. As we see Tyne get past the Haas and goes through up to 8th position now. Next man ahead of him is Spanias, who does not have a time penalty to his name. And Twist nearly running into the back of the Red Bull, perhaps too desperate to get back ahead.
And he runs off. And he runs off as well. So that's the second time he's done that, and I think 3 laps. So not good form from Twist. He's been in a couple of incidents as well, and it's got a lot of penalties. This track takes no prisoners in terms of time penalties. The gap at the top still remains 6 tenths, but it could extend, it could dip down. We'll have to see coming out of Acre Minerali. Rutty Hullet has pulled off back a bit. Maybe the tyres are starting to kick in. Armatelo's right behind Christian Block. Is he going to go for a move into the chicane? No, he's not. It looked very tempting indeed, but he's not going to go for it. There hasn't been much action as much other races, not to be the critic, but apart from that double overtake Daniela had, not much has changed. They've been saving it. I think the one DRS zone is the problem.
Out of Ravazza now as they complete lap 26, 6 to go. Daniela still in the lead. He'll be happy for the gap to just drop down on this pit straight because he knows he's not going to be overtaken by Top G. So Top G getting as close as he can before Tambrello, but he's not going to be able to make the move from there.
So the order remains the same in the top 5 at least. I think it stays the same throughout. Yes, it does. So no action to be had yet, but remember there's 6 laps to go. Anything can change, anything can happen. Zorzo has went out on mediums. He maybe doesn't like the the softs as much, and this is pretty much just a dawdle home now for Zorzo. Just finishing the race would be at least a consolation prize. Oh, hold on! I think Daniel Milne made a mistake. The gap's back down to 3 tenths.
Yep, it's definitely smaller by this stage of the lap in comparison to we've seen on other laps since the safety car restart. Daniela is under threat now. I think his mediums are starting to fall away, but he's actually able to pull away on the exit of Vayante Alta. So stress is over for now for those who are fans of Daniela, but they won't want to get too complacent, and neither will he.
Top G made a mistake out of the final 2 corners, and now he's 1 second behind. He does get DRS because it was before the detection zone, but Rutty Hullet is going to have a look and maybe finally break the deadlock. But no, he's staying behind again, playing very defensive, standing pat pretty much this whole race. And it doesn't seem like it's going to change until the final few laps, which we're in.
5 laps remaining. Daniela still in the lead. Damage is in there in 6th position, but he is carrying a time penalty, which will allow Spanias through into P6. Tyne, currently in P8, will actually keep hold of 8th position. So that will keep him in the championship lead as it stands.
Unless he gets another penalty, which it kind of reminds me of that time we had the lead in Mexico that one time, and then he lost it, and Rastas won the race in the last lap. So, I'm not going to check the race director because we all know what happened last time. Christian Block gets a penalty! Not what you want. He was in fourth, he was in the running, but it's gone now. Top G just grazes into the detection zone. Oh, now he's got a penalty! This is only a twinkle in the eye of Ruti Hullet and Daniela. Even if he gets past, it's not going to be enough. Daniela has a massive cushion now.
And I think Top G will just want to get in front and pull away as Matteo gets past Christian Block to go up into fourth place now. I think Block knows that he's not going to keep hold of that position anyway because Matteo doesn't have a penalty. Damage gets through into sixth place ahead of Spanias.
Spanias runs off the track and loses a spot, battling too hard. And Top G is just now playing spoiler for Daniel. Unless he gets a penalty, Ruti Hullet will have a second win. All these top four drivers, by the way, have won this season. The only driver that hasn't in this is Renz. Renz went out earlier in the race, throwing in the towel. So the four race winners are now in the top four. And this is quite insane, actually. So we've got the best of the best only in this battle. And Top G needs to close up. The tyres are still working well for Daniela. No signs of suffering yet. But remember, he has a penalty. So we're looking at Armateo and Ruti Hullet, who have been on these tyres at the same time. Top G needs to hope something insane happens. But it looks like the energy has run out for Daniela. The fuel of tyres has run out. But here comes Ruti Hullet. Ruti Hullet going for a move. This could be free wide, Tom!
It is. Here we go. Look, Top G on the outside. Nearly making contact through the kink. Top G round the outside. He gets through. So does Ruti Hullet. That's the important part. Daniela's gone off the track.
Daniela's gone off the track and he's sliding out of the corner. This is bad for Danielle, but really good for Tyne. Tyne now. Top G leads the race, but in terms of penalties, it is Ruti Hullet who won in Austria at the last gasp. And now looking for a second. Zordo has retired from the race. He knows there's nowhere to go. But it is Armateo now having a look at what could be third place, what could be second place. But it's a big lead after that collision for what looks like Top G. But it's Ruti Hullet that has it. Ruti Hullet ahead. And he's got to be careful though. These tyres pretty worn. And they know that too well. Top G has got to hope that they suffer and he'll win the race. He needs to win by 3 seconds. 3 seconds, the golden ratio. But here comes Armateo now. Oh, Daniela's struggling, but so is Armateo. They're both struggling.
They are, and they are really struggling on their mediums now by the looks of it. That will play into the hands of Top G, who's on the hards. Mateo is about to go past the Alpine, and I don't think Daniela has got any form of fight in him to fend that one off.
Daniela's luck's run out. The engine's running on empty. Christian Block right behind him. This would be even worse as Twist has come into the pits. He's not happy with the tyres. Wait, did he get a puncture?
Don't know. I don't think so. I think he just came in because he wanted to go for fastest lap. And so is Devon and so is Moustache. I think they know that if something happens up ahead, they may just sneak inside the top 10 and get a point or something, so who knows. As it stands, Top G will drop to second with the penalty, and he's doing his best to pull away.
Another penalty for Christian Block, and what could have been a podium finish is now nothing. He's only going to score a handful of points, and that's not really what you want when you've been in that position for so long. Top G needs to double his lead to win. He's got no energy though. Ruti Hullet doesn't either. Neither does Armateo, but Daniel has some left in his tank. But he needs to probably conserve it near the end. He's got Christian Block behind him, but just playing spoiler right now. Top G still leads. And by the stands, it looks like that Time will keep his championship lead after all. Daniela closing up to Armateo, and he's shut the door. That might be it. Christian Block right behind him as well. Damage as well, but it looks like it could be as time gets past Cherno.
Yeah, because Cherno tried to get past him and Cherno went wide. So Cherno's dropped back. Time's dropped back horribly from Spanius, so that's cost him there. But at least he might actually still get in front of Christian Block, so that'll be another point gain there for Tyne at the end of the race. 1.7 seconds is the gap. That's not enough for Top G to hold the race win. For Ruti Hullet, it looks like he's going to be achieving his second win in the last 3 races.
And Ruti Hullet is struggling on those tyres, but I don't think you have to worry because Top G's gap is not going to be enough. Oh, he nearly loses it as well. But Ruti Hullet just had to keep it clean and he wins.
Here he comes, Top G through Ravazza for the last time. It's been an epic race since the restart, and Top G is about to cross over the line first, but he's not going to be keeping the victory because of his track limits violation. Ruti Hullet comes round to win the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in F3 in the PSGL. Matteo comes home in 3rd place, Top G drops to 2nd. Daniela comes home in 4th, with Spanius in 5th, and it's Damage ahead of Block, ahead of Tyne. Cherno and Mohammed will be the point scorers. Twist, Devon and Moustache will be fighting over that fast lap, but they won't be getting any points for that. So the headline story is that Ruti Hullet is the winner and he closes down the championship lead to Tyne, but Tyne is still at the head of the pack in the overall championship order.
So there we go, Ruti Hullet getting his second win in 3 races, and that is a great confidence booster. It puts him on to, provisionally, 46 points. Top G could only manage 12 points. He gets his first non-win points finish of the season. Or Matteo getting another 10 points. And I think someone did someone set the fastest lap? No, I don't think they did.
Yeah, it was Twist that got the fastest, although that was just taken away by Moustache right at the end. We'll have a look on the running order, but we'll have a look on the classification anyway. But Ruti Hullet has won again for the 2nd time this season, and what a crucial victory it is, and how pivotal could that be in the championship at the end of the season. The drivers are on the podium now to pick up their trophies and their champagne, and what a win for Ruti Hullet, who...
It's not champagne.
Well, it's not champagne actually, it's some form of bubbly.
Sparkling water. Sparkling wine, sorry, sparkling wine, because it's not made in the Champagne region of France. Fun fact. Has to be made in the Champagne region of France to be actual champagne. So Daniela, with that unfortunate ending, lost the win and actually lost a chance to take the lead of the championship. He is now on 50 points, still in 2nd, but now 10 points behind Tyne, who, this is provisional, there could be penalties, but now Tyne is still in the lead, but by 10 points. Spanius gets 5th, by the way. We completely glossed over that. That's his best finish, and now he's up to 9 points in the championship. Mohammed hanging on for a point finish, puts him on 21. Ren scores 0. Marius wasn't here. Anyone else of note?
Well, I just wanted to run down on the classification. Ruti Hullet is your race winner with Top G 2nd, Matteo 3rd, Daniel in 4th, head of Spanius, who picks up his best result of the season so far. Damage 6th on debut this season. Christian Block 7th, head of Tyne, Cherno in 9th, and it's Mohammed picking up the last point. Devon, Twist and Moustache were the last of those that took the checker flag, because Moustache got the fastest lap, but no points unfortunately. It's also classified. Edrix, Rent and Tedo did not finish the race.
So now Zorzo is the 2nd driver not to score this season. Damage avoids that statistic, and will now be in the 21st in the championship, I think. No, maybe 20th. Sorry.
Well, the championship standings will be updated in due course anyway. There may be some post-race penalties to come, who knows. So we'll probably leave that for now, Logan. We'll want to give one final mention to PSGL's title sponsors that are GT Omega. You can get 5% off on any GT Omega products by using PSGL at the checkout. So do take the opportunity to look out for anything really on the GT Omega website to see if there's anything that you fancy. Do keep right up to date with all the action that's happening in the PSGL, with all the PlayStation races as well as the PC ones that are happening throughout the week. Do make sure you subscribe as well. At the time of recording, we've reached over 39,000. We want to continue increasing that. By doing so, make sure you click that subscribe button and you won't miss out on anything. Logan, thank you very much for joining me in the competition for tonight. We'll do it all again next week. The PSGL Circus will continue at Spa. So that is something to look forward to, most certainly. In a week's time, same time next week. I'm Tom Cairns, he's Logan, and we'll speak to you again soon when the PSGL returns.
99.